So that is an anti-roll bar for a Land Rover. Here we have some poly bushes for it. And that is a Vauxhall Corsa. So I got a tip from someone on one of the Facebook groups that the dimensions of the Land Rover's anti-roll bar match exactly what I need for the Corsa. So let's give it a go, see if it fits. I can't deny that does look about exactly the right size. Fair play to the man. So I can get about 90.2 for a U-bolt size. That's probably an M12 on the shock bolt. Okay, so it's 100mm long. That took a bit doing. Killed one of those. Never mind. Typically the only one I've not got a spare of. So I've cleaned up the worst of the rust areas. Not that it's really going to matter too much, but I'll stick a bit of rust on them, a bit of anti-rust paint over the top, and at least that just smartens it up, protects it a little bit then. So it's worth mentioning that this is a 22mm thick bar, which is 2mm thicker than the kit from DNA, so it should really stiffen things up a bit and hopefully make the ride a bit flatter. Especially when you consider that Corsa VXRs have an 8mm thick rear axle, which is much thicker than other variants. Now it was time to make up some plates which would form part of the rear axle mounts. I 3D printed drilling guides to ensure consistency across both sides. So we've got a captive bolt in there, just chop the head down on the bolt to make it fit, rivet through the side to hold it in place like so. That will all clamp onto there down tight, nice poly bush in the middle. I etch primed all the metal parts and then painted them to protect them and to make them look aesthetically pleasing. Silicone grease applied and poly bush is now fitted. With everything loosely bolted into place, it was time to lift the car and remove the lower shock bolts. I put together some drop links and fitted them using the longer shock bolt. Nylon nuts were used to ensure that nothing would come loose, and an alloy spacer added over that captive bolt to prevent those too close together nuts from fouling one another. Job's a good one, and after a quick drive the ride did feel flatter, and the bar doesn't seem to have caused worrying amounts of lift-off oversteer. The real test of course will be on track at Brands, with some caution on entering Paddock Hill.